Now, welcome to this very important lesson. Well, actually, almost every lesson is very important in this course. So, this lesson is the surround yourself with the best people. You may have heard this quote before. You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Jim Rohn. Now, this is a very common quote. It circulates quite a bit. And yeah, for the most part, it is very true. Let's discuss this a little bit though, right? Let's discuss why this is so important and how you can take advantage of this and help your mindset and your life grow to be a better life through the people you surround yourself with. So you've probably heard the quote somewhere before, or maybe something similar to it. You may be thinking to yourself, what does my mother have to do with the way I act and make my decisions? Or my best friend. I like my best friend. That's why he's my best friend. That's why she's my best friend, right? They don't have much effect on me. But think again though. Even though you may not actually realize it, these people have a major impact on the way you live your life. This actually even includes the type of video content or texts you send and read, the groups that you join, the party nights that you have, whatever it may be. The closest people to you really do have an effect on you. Even the games that you play have an effect on you. Even though games are not people, but they are made by people. All of these things have some sort of effect on you, the way that you live your life, the way that you go about your life. Also think about the friends of your friends and the society around you. These also have potential impacts on the way you live your life. Think about, right, even if you don't know the friend of your friend, the friend of your friend is affecting your friend, which is also affecting you, if that makes sense. I know that sentence sounds a little bit confusing, but it's so true. But I don't want to go into too much detail about that. It's something that we could possibly discuss because, well, I want this course to be as practical as possible. So here's the list of attributes you should consider when choosing how long you should be spending time with the people you associate yourself with. So attributes which are pretty common, but they're worth mentioning. So optimistic, confident yet humble, patient, willful, passionate, transparent yet polite, empathetic, communicative, responsible, and trustworthy. All of those are fantastic qualities. And of course, not everyone is going to match every single thing on that list. But I think if they have at least 5 or 6 of them, that's going to be a benefit. And realize there are so many other attributes that are positive ones. There's also a lot of negative ones too. So look for people who you need to be spending the most time with that matches with most of these attributes. The one I mentioned are the ones I personally feel the strongest about, the ones that I feel I always gauge people with. And the sad thing is, it's very hard to find people that fit into all of these categories. It's actually almost not impossible, but it's very difficult to find people with all of these categories. As it is very difficult, try not to be too picky who you spend your time with outside of school or work. As long as the person has most of the attributes, then yeah, you can spend more time with that person. And here's a filter and exercise I'd like you to use right now. So we're going to get down into the nitty gritty. We're going to use this for all the people you already spend the most time with. I'm not talking about people that you might only see like once every like 3 months. I'm talking about the people that you might see weekly, daily or weekly. So, first of all, I want you to think about and write down the names of the people you spend the most time with. If you can, think specifically about the 5 people you spend the most time with. And if you need to pause this video to write those names down right now, go ahead and pause, because I'm going to continue talking. Secondly, next to their names, write down some of the people's qualities, both positive and negative. Thirdly, look at the qualities of one particular person and ask yourself whether this person is helping you move forward in your life towards your big goal, or whether the person is a negative influence and holding you back from reaching your big goal. An example might be someone who asks you to come out every single Friday and Saturday night to go party, get shit-faced, and have a hangover the next day to where you can't even focus on anything. This is the type of person that you need to distance yourself with. Maybe you only go out with them like once a month rather than every single weekend. Okay? Fourthly, if the person's positive qualities outweigh the negative qualities, then keep them on your list of 5 people you spend the most time with. If, on the other hand, the person's negative qualities outweigh the positive qualities, then decide whether you want to spend less time with that person or completely block them out of your life. The second option is very drastic, so you may not want to resort to that. That is completely understandable, and it's also completely up to you, because I'm not telling you who to cut out of your life and who to keep in it. I'm just here to help guide you. I'm not telling you who to be friends with. That is completely up to you. Okay? People who may not be the best influences might still be people you actually like, to be honest, right? So, you've built a friendship with this person, but unfortunately he or she is not doing anything to help you move forward. It's, in the end, up to you how much you want to spend time with that person. This negative influence may be one that helps you decide maybe to spend a lot less time with this person. So it's up to you, like I said. And just so that you get some perspective on my side, so I personally use this filter, and maybe my filter is a little bit too strict, but it's really because I want to associate myself with people who are on their lifelong learning journey. And of course, not everyone that I associate with is on their lifelong learning journey. It's because, well, some of them I really do like for the person who they are. And I also see it as an opportunity for me to be able to help them realize how important lifelong learning is. So yeah, that's just a little background behind my life and how I choose the people I spend my time with. So moving on to the next point. Fifthly, think about other people you may be able to add to the list of 5 people you spend the most time with. Think about people that maybe you don't spend a whole lot of time with now that would fit, right? If you can't think of anyone, that's okay. You don't need to have an absolute 5 people on your list at all times. 5 people is just a number. If you do decide to search for another person to put on your list, then one of the best ways of finding a well-rounded and positive person is through a local community of like-minded people. It could be Toastmasters, it could be a book club, it could be a running group, it could be any sort of community, and you get to know those people. And there could be people in that group that really are good people. So try to become closer with them. Your positive influence and that person's positive influence combined can make a strong outcome. You could also reconnect with someone that you knew in high school or university that might be a good fit. Be creative with this because your network can be a very powerful tool to reach your big goal. As this is the last lesson in this module, I want you to remember to carry on a lifelong learning mindset throughout this whole course and into the rest of the things you do in your life. I encourage you to come back to these lessons anytime you feel like your mindset is weakening or you just feel like you need a little bit of motivation. It happens to the best of us, so don't feel ashamed if it does. I hope that these lessons give you the power and the motivation to stay strong throughout the rest of your life. Now, please send me a copy of the list that you made earlier. Just share it with me. That way I know that you did it. And if you have any questions, you feel free and let me know at any time at matt@bookmatic.com. Now, move on to the next module.